Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin, coming back with another one, man. And I just want to tell y'all real fast, man. Listen, so a couple years ago, right, I watched a first 48 episode where you had this husband and wife, right? They moved in a family friend into their household, you know what I mean? He needed some help. He was down bad, you know what I'm saying? So guess what? The husband and wife moved in this family friend. All right, the husband, he's a cool dude. You know, he just worked his job. He constantly worked. He worked a lot. You know what I mean? He worked a lot to support his wife, you know what I mean, and his household or whatever the case. You know what I mean? He worked a lot of hours, but he still did what he could to make sure that the love was there in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Him and his wife wasn't getting along. They started not getting along or whatnot, and he used to plead to her because, you know, she just was acting strange, acting very strange. You know what I'm saying? And then the husband, he ended up getting, the episode kick off where he ended up getting shot in the driveway. He got shot in his own driveway. You know what I'm saying? You did have the other dude that they moved in the house at the time where it happened. So when it happened, when he got shot in the driveway, it just looked like somebody shot him and ran off. You know what I mean? According to, you know, the people in the house and the man that was in the house. I think he was the only one there at the time. But anyways, it turns out that the man that they moved in, the husband and wife moved in, he the one that shot the husband, shot him, killed him. You know what I'm saying? And also, I know y'all could put the puzzle pieces together. The wife was fucking the friend that they moved into the house. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they got conversations that they was having on the phone. They clearly was lovers. You know what I'm saying? They got the text messages and all of that. They was talking about the insurance policy that they was gonna get, from the husband dying and all of that shit. The police ended up getting all of that shit. But throughout that whole episode, that bitch, you know what I mean? That wife, she was a good ass liar. That bitch was a good liar. You know what I mean? And the thing is one of the daughters, or I think that man's, the husband's sister had a conversation with her. And throughout that whole time, anytime, a wife lose her husband, the wife is going through a thing. She crying, she going through it, she emotionally drained. You just know when somebody like really hurt. But that bitch, the husband's sister, you know what I mean, noticed when talking to the wife that she didn't drop not a tear. She didn't drop not a tear, and she relayed that to the police, which also put the police on her radar. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't even emotional when they first told her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? She tried to act like she was, but still no tears. You know what I mean? Still no screams or anything like that, man. And that's the thing, man. I'm not going to say that husband was a simp. He was a husband. You know what I'm saying? He was a husband that wanted to make it work. He wanted to make his marriage work. He was busting his ass out there working, doing whatever it took. You know what I'm saying? And, he was trying to make it work with his wife. You know what I'm saying? They got text messages of him having conversations with her, and she just wasn't with it. You know what I mean? She wasn't trying to make nothing work. She just wanted to keep these problems up. He telling her like, look, I gotta work hard so I can support you. I'm doing whatever I can, baby, this and that. And it was just like, you're watching that episode. It just lets you know how cold-blooded these bitches can be. How cold-blooded they could be. Like I said, I'm not going to sit there and call that man a simp. But at the end of the day, it's so dangerous when you in that position. You know what I'm saying? And you do have simps, though, that put themselves in those type of positions. You know what I'm saying? Where they put these women before themselves. You know what I'm saying? They out there working hard and doing all of these things and whatnot. And meanwhile, you got a wife that's at home, that's fucking somebody else, whether it was a family friend or just somebody out there at a job, whatever the case may be. You have plenty of cases where you see these guys, they putting their life on the line, putting everything on the line to support their family and their wife, and everything like that. And then you got cold-blooded bitches that's just doing shit like that. You know, and that wife and that man that was supposed to be a friend of both of theirs, he killed him. He killed him. But at the end of the day, the wife was the ringleader of it. So guess what? When the charges was brought down on her, she had to take that charge. She took the charge. She had to take that charge too. She got convicted too. Now, I don't know how much time she ended up doing, but at the end of the day, you got to be careful when it comes to these women, man. You got to be careful when you thinking about getting into a marriage with these chicks, man. Just even dating these chicks, man, because you see a lot of simps putting themselves in harm's way. You know what I mean? Where they putting these women, they validating these women, they putting these women on pedestals, and they end up getting backdoored. They end up getting set up. They go meet these chicks, and next thing you know, you got a bunch of motherfuckers jumping out the closet on their ass, robbing them, even killing them. There's been a lot of episodes like that. There's been a lot of shit like that that we see happening in our areas, in the hoods, in the streets, everywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, man, they ain't got that many episodes of Snap for no reason. You know what I mean? That's a Lifetime show. The show that come on Lifetime, where women is doing cutthroat shit. Where women is doing what's it called? Where they hired a motherfucker to kill. You know what I'm saying? Murder for hire. You see that all the time. Murder for hire, and then you see these guys that just have no idea. They have no idea until the police played on the tape. Like, yeah, this your wife. That's putting a hit out on you. So it's dangerous to be a simp these days. That's what you got to understand. It's dangerous. A lot of people just don't look at it. Oh, what's the big deal? You know, she gonna use me for money. Everybody spend money. It's not just money, nigga. You could you could motherfucking pay with your life, nigga. You could pay with your life out here messing with the wrong broad. Whether you impregnate her, whether you get married to her and she take you for everything, she take you to the cleaners, bruh, or have you paying alimony, bruh. Listen, bruh, it's your livelihood and your life on the line. Everything on the line, but not enough men take it serious because they blinded by the flesh. All they want to do is chase ass and titties and bad bitches and don't even realize that they putting their own self at risk. They putting their health at risk, their well-being at risk, their life at risk. You know what I'm saying? And this shit gotta stop because we doing all of this shit just for sex. Just to bust a nut. Mugs putting it all on the line, like I said the other day, like Coach Greg Adams say, just to get they salami wet, bro. So you gonna put your life on the line just to get your salami wet, bro? But I had to tell y'all that story on First 48 because it was so cutthroat, but it was sad at the same time because that was a good man. And may he rest in peace. I don't want to call him a simp. He got married to that woman, and he did what he was supposed to do in the marriage, which was support his family. You know what I mean? They raised their kids, they did all that, and they both made the agreement to move this man in that was a friend of both of theirs that needed help, and that man was fucking his wife. And his wife had that man shoot her husband for the insurance policy. For the insurance policy, bruh. So guess what? If they didn't get caught, guess what? They was gonna be balling out on that man's dime, on that man's soul, on his death. They was gonna be eating good, living good, because they was already fucking. And then on top of that, right? They found a tracking device under the husband's car. They found on First 48, go look it up. They found a tracking device under that man's car. So that tracking device was used. It was used that for when they knew he was coming home, when they'd be fucking. Because they was fucking. They was doing all the fucking when he was off at work, busting his ass to support the family, support his wife, and make sure the household stay together. And that man had a tracking device under his truck. So they knew when he was coming home. Meanwhile, when he was at work, she was sucking him off, giving him good loving, and he couldn't get no pussy. He was in the text messages pleading for that. I want to make love. We don't make love no more. All of this shit. It was sad, dog. It was sad. It was sad. At the end of that episode, man, listen, bruh. My girl was sitting right there. I said, you cannot trust these bitches. And she didn't say nothing. My girl didn't say nothing because she just shaking her head. It was a sad episode. You know what I mean? It was a sad episode, and that just showed, man, listen, man, the lengths that these women will go. Bruh, listen, y'all, you got men out here doing too much. Because if you, guess what? If you blinded out here, you can easily end up in that situation, bruh. If you blinded, if you're not protecting yourself, bruh, you can easily end up in that situation. But unfortunately, that man put his wife first. He put his wife first. He put his marriage first. And that's what put him in the ground. That's what put him in the ground. That's where it got him at. Putting his wife first. So I just want y'all to remember that moving forward. When you think about putting these chicks on a pedestal, when you think about validating these chicks, when you think about jumping into some marriage, think about that shit before you do it. Because a lot of us, man, listen, we didn't value ourselves, bruh. We got in these relationships and we lost it. We lost who we was. And it happens. It happened to me before, where I just didn't know who I was, bruh. And we can't allow that these days. That's why we got to stay on these journeys. We got to keep putting in the work. We got to know who the fuck we are. We got to know who we are, man, because you could easily end up in a situation just like that man, all right? And that's my word, man. My name Sinn, the Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.
First I'ma get on my grind, then second stop wasting my time on shit less important. If ain't about money, I'm going the other direction. And third, I'ma do what I gotta to eat. Fourth, I'ma sew up the streets. Fifth, I'ma never quit dropping this heat. So as long as I'm breathing, you better get used to me. Sixth, I'ma get